What is up, YouTube? Fable Grimro back again with something completely different. For my subscribers, if you remember it's been about a year ago since now, I posted a review of these two beauties right here, Aegis and Metis, and they are Figmas, which are like superposable action figure display model kind of things. And I got both of them at Otakon back in 2012. So I enjoyed them very much. They look really cool. And for 2013, when I went back to Otakon, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen some of the videos that I posted. I posted a lot of videos I took there. I got a new one, which is sort of the third sister in the Persona 4 robot trio, and that's Labrys. Now, just a quick background on this character real quick. Labrys is from Persona 4 Arena, and Persona 4 Arena is a fighting game, actually, based on the Persona franchise. Now, the Persona games, what they are like RPGs, and they involve a lot of, like, talking with people and, like, their social links, that kind of thing, and they put in a bunch of, having to deal with like inner problems, that kind of thing. And what they did is they sort of translated that formula to a fighting game. So instead of like the RPG style combat systems, you get the fighting style. And what happened was Atlas, who does the Persona games, did this in collaboration with Arc System Works, who does like BlazBlue, Guilty Gear, those franchises of fighting games. And when this came out, this became sort of like something out of left field that won a lot of awards for like fighting games. And they did an extremely good job with sort of translating all the characters. So they have characters from Persona 4 and 3, so this sort of like combines the two into one story, sort of based around Labrys, who's like the new character in the series. I'm not going to spoil too much because you guys really should play this game. If you're a fighting game fan or a Persona fan, you guys probably have gotten this game already and have been playing it. So I wanted to do sort of like an unboxing and like a little review of Labrys here. Like with my other two, there we go. Aegis and Metis, Labrys here comes in sort of like a fairly standard sized box. Has a lot of pictures sort of on the front, on the back. They give you sort of like what's in the box. So she has like her with a bunch of poses and some of the facial expressions. So let's open her up here. Try to be gentle with this. Now, I guess let me talk about the character of Labrys for a little bit. For those of you that do, or I don't know, don't know the Persona franchise, is that Labrys is actually a robot. And you kind of find this out during the story mode. And what happens during this story mode in the game is it takes place a little while after the original Persona 4, where the main character, Yuna Arakami, comes back to the city, or the town of Inaba, and, to visit his friends, because it's like the holiday. But he's immediately thrust into this other mystery that's going on, because the Midnight Channel is back on, which features all the characters in this like fighting tournament, so they have to go in and find out what's going on. And while they're going around doing this, they encounter not only this mysterious girl who is like claimed to be like the student council president, and like you're going around like this sort of what her idea of the school is or whatever. but you're also encountering these mysterious characters from Persona 3, Akihiko, Mitsuru, Aigis, and also Elizabeth as well. And you get to find out about Labrys and her shadow and sort of the big conspiracy behind why she is in the TV, that kind of thing. So, back to the figure. There's a lot of stuff that popped out of this box, more than I thought there'd be. Labrys here is encased inside of some plastic that is a pain to get off. Alright, here it comes. I guess it's attached in on the inside too, so you have to get all these little dots out, so I'm trying to do it from a little bit from each side here. There's a lot of things in here. There we go. Alright, so yeah, Labrys is encased in this sort of, little plastic, looks like a plastic mold almost. So here is the figure of Labrys herself. Also wrapped in plastic. I remember when I was doing, when I opened my other two, Aigis and Metis, the figure was completely wrapped in plastic, and also some of these plastic pieces, as you see, like, she has this plastic sort of like all like inside her almost. These plastic pieces were like inside her joints. They sort of like stuffed it like around her hair and that kind of thing, but thankfully it's not like inside her. That was one of my concerns when I was opening up the other two figures, is that I would the plastic itself, this little plastic stuff, was like inside the joint, so you have to like pull it out. And it was really weird. I was hoping that like something would get stuck inside there, or I'd break the figure, which I would cry. So here's Labrys. Just to sort of like compare her with one of the other figures here, she definitely seems to be a little bit smaller than the other two, which I guess sort of like scaled down a bit, which is kind of weird. The other two, maybe by like almost an inch or so. So yeah, hold her up, she's about like an inch smaller. So that's kind of weird. She does have a little bit of plastic sort of like wrapped around her body still, right here, but I think that's just something we can just pull off. Pull like piece by piece kind of thing. Yeah, I think that's all the plastic. Alright, so we got Labrys here. Now, Labrys, like I said, of the other two, is a robot. So she has some of the like metallic features that the other two have. So she has the sort of like peg style legs that the Persona machines kind of have, and sort of like the armor around her and like in her hair and that kind of thing. She has these little wires here that look kind of fragile actually, that are just like attached to like her ears that look like headphones. All pretty standard for, if you look at the way that like Aigis and Metis and some of the other ones are designed like that. Labrys is also wearing the school uniform, which the other two don't really do, but if you play through the game, it makes sense because Labrys sort of wants to be, she wants to be a real girl, that kind of thing. Like, at first she doesn't even know that she's a robot. She's like in sort of this like illusion of hers that, she's a real schoolgirl and the real student council president, and she's in charge of the whole thing, where in fact that she's just living like her own fantasy. Which, yeah, for a robot, it's like, what the hell, but the robots in Persona are like super realistic, like they give them like emotions, that kind of thing. And as you go through Labrys' story mode, you figure out like sort of like how she got these emotions, and she had to like, and like why there's like this fighting tournament where she has to like beat all of like the other ones like her, that kind of thing, including like her you know, her little friend that she makes in doing all this. So, and then she tries to like escape the lab, and then she goes into like the sleep kind of thing. All right, so we got Labrys here. Her hair is really cool. Her hair is almost like a transparent blue kind of thing. It looks very nice, like very like classy. That's like her in her ponytail right here, which looks really cool. She has a school uniform. I really like the colors on Labrys because they give her like like a red, white, and blue kind of thing, where you have like the white in her body, the red in her arms and her feet, the blue in her hair. Labrys looks really, really nice, especially when you compare it to how like Aegis originally looked. Aegis was just like kind of like straight like white and gold and looks really plain, and they kind of like gave her more things over time to you know, make her like stand out a bit more. And Metis has, you know, her like big skirt and so like two-tone black, red, and white kind of scheme going. So yeah, Labrys, she has some, I think they're like ball joints right here, up in her legs. They're a little bit stiff, so I'm trying to get them to like loosen a little bit to move a bit. She has, it's actually like a double joint right here in her knee, so that's kind of cool just to make her like pose a bit, because she has sort of like a little kneecap right there. So there's like a joint right here, and then her knee. Even like her feet down here, I think have a little, yeah, they have a little joint right here. It's a little bit stiff, so you gotta get it to like waking up a bit. There we go. Her legs spread out a bit, not too much, though. I think just because of her armor and like her skirt don't really allow her legs to have quite a whole lot of mobility. Let's see here. Her head sort of. Oh, there we go. Head sort of. Yeah, there's her head sort of goes side to side a bit. Even her like her ponytail has a joint, kind of like that. I guess to make like action poses. It's pretty cool. As well as, yeah, the armor piece in her hair also has its own, also attached to these two joints right here. So I guess that's to make some nice poses with Labrys. Let's see here. She moves side to side with her waist. She sort of has like these like metal restrainers around her waist that makes it look kind of hard to move, especially with this little bandana of hers hanging down. See, we got the arms, the joint at the elbow, and also her hands move. Now this is all, compared to the other two, yeah, she's definitely a lot smaller, a lot more delicate, I would think, because of, I guess, like the size differential. They made her about an inch smaller, which I guess she looked a little bit weird standing next to the other two, but there's actually two figures that came out of Arena, and that's her and also the updated version of Aegis, which I saw a bunch of those at Otakon, but they were all insanely overpriced, so I just decided that I would wait either to like see what if they go down next year or just get them online. So, alright, so that's Labrys. And let's see what else we have in the box here. Now, sort of like attached to Labrys, let's see what this is right here. This is sort of just like another plastic, like restraining piece, I guess, to keep her in place a bit. At the bottom here, we have a number of different pieces and like little bags of her containing. So we got, in this bag we have her stand here. So if you notice how I had my other two figures, I had them both on stands because I find that the Figma characters sometimes have a hard time standing up, and especially looking at some of these other pieces that Labrys has, I think it's going to be impossible to have her stand up, because the regular figure itself isn't really supported very well this way like her design is. The other two characters came with these like ice skate things that if you wanted to stand up without a stand, these sort of skates would help them like support their feet. And I don't see those quite with Labrys' figure. So I guess she's sort of meant to either be like on her own or from the stand. Let's see here. The stand, oh, it's this way. There we go. Has this little like crane in the back that you can attach into the base. There we go, like that. And then it would then plug into, if you lift up Labrys' hair, there's a little like plug right here on her back that the slot just kind of fits in. There we go. And then Labrys can now stand on her base. So there we go. There's Labrys. Now let's see. There's actually seems to be two stands because there's one in this other bag here as well. I'm not quite sure if there's a difference. Maybe it's just like an extra stand if you lose one or you I'm not sure. Oh, maybe that's what the extra stand is for. Yeah, I'll get back to this extra stand later. I think I might know what it's for. But I'll get to that when I get to this other part over here. Alright, so Labrys comes with two stands. And then we have not quite exactly sure what that is. We'll figure this out as we go along. And then she also comes with this this chain right here. See, like this. And with this chain, when you play through Labrys's like as her character, a lot of her and her shadow self is based off of like the Minotaur legend. So like Ariadne and the Minotaur is Asterius, and that's like her persona, and the Asterius is the Minotaur. Labrys, her name herself, is sort of like an allusion to, you know, Labyrinth. So a lot of her attacks involve using chains and like threads. Like her persona attacks are all like these like really immaculate thread attacks. We also have the sort of standard like the hand rack. So it comes with a bunch of different left and right hands. So there's like a some open hands right here where she has like her fingers spread. She has it like this, and then some closed fists. Two different kinds of closed fists actually, but they have like a little hole in the middle, so you can probably put like her giant axe in there. And these hands just kind of pop out of the rack. They're actually cool for having like a nice like storage and just to keep them handy so they're not like around and you might lose them. And there's also another, what seems to be another sort of stand piece in here. I think this is also meant for her axe. This might actually go, yeah, this might actually go with, no, doesn't actually go with that. This actually might go, yeah, here we go. This would attach onto this. Yeah, this is where the other base comes in. So you have sort of like a claw right here. So that's what this base is for. This base is for this bad boy, and that's her giant oversized axe that she uses. So let's move Labrys over here. I'll get this chain out of the way. And let me see if I can open this thing up. Much easier than the other one. Alright, this is Labrys's trademark giant butterfly axe. And this baby does a wallop. I do not want to hit this thing. Again, it's wrapped in plastic, because everything, of course, has to be wrapped in plastic. Now, the way that this axe works with Labrys is not only is it like a weapon, but it's also a part of herself. So you can detach, Labrys out of stand, and then this axe should be able to sort of like fit up underneath of her. Let me see if I can get it to go. That's sort of like position it right. Now the axe itself is jointed like this, so it sort of goes like that. Because out like this, it's a weapon, and then Labrys can like sort of draw it back, store it on her back, and it will become wings. Now it's kind of a bit of a tight fit to sort of get in around her hair, but that same plug where the there we go. So that same plug where the stand went, Labrys can fit her axe on here, so that sort of gives her like these wings. Now she's also hard to stand like this with just this. Like it's impossible. She'll fall over. So thankfully, sort of like give her like butterfly wings. But thankfully, on the back of this axe, there's a hole like right there, so you can then plug the stand into the back of the axe, and then Labrys can now stand with her axe on the back. So that looks really cool. That's sort of like the standard Labrys fighting pose, like that. And then she will detach this axe from her back, and then the bottom part of the axe here will come off. You have your extension rod here. Axe sort of folds out. This goes on the bottom here. And now you have a full functional killing machine. So I guess the way to use this here is the hand she has on right now is her closed hands, her closed fist. So you should be able to sort of twist the hands off like that. And then you can put them on your handy dandy hand rack, which I put here. And then take the closed fist hands that we have here. Let me put the closed fist here, and this is the closed fist hands with the hole in them. So you can then put these onto Labrys, left and right hand. And then you can just slide the axe in. It's a bit of a tight squeeze. Same with this hand here. Let me see here. I think there might be two different size. No, I think they're about the same actually. So yeah, Labrys here then has her axe, put the thing on the bottom. And now Labrys can hold her axe. And again, the axe makes her completely top heavy, so you really cannot stand her without a stand. So she can now wield her axe. Now, yeah, what I figured here is because of the ginormity of this axe, is that's what this stand is for, this second stand right here. And it's actually meant to grasp onto the axe, so that way you can use it to do a lot better action poses. So I know that let me see if this thing actually comes out, because I know in the game I believe her arm, I forget if it's the axe or the arm itself. Yeah, this axe part will come out, and then let's see if I have this right. Yep. For one of her like special attacks, she actually detaches both the axe head as well as her forearm are on a chain, so you can then use this. There we go. Dropped it. This little peg on the axe is really annoying. Let's see if I can get that out of the way. There. So now we have the axe sort of on the claw, attach it to the chain, and you can do some really cool shots whenever I get to actually get this thing to stand up, of her like unleashing her axe at you, like so. Also, I'll show you guys this too, since I have this chain here. I mentioned that her forearm would come off, so she does like a knuckle punch kind of thing, where she'll sort of like send her arm out at your opponent, and you get to either like grab them or punch them from a bit of a distance. Because Labrys is sort of like a close range fighter, but like her axe gives you a little bit of spacing, and this is sort of like her distance attack that she can do. I don't believe this is the right. No, that's not the right one. There we go. So yeah, her arm would then come off here. You would attach the chain here, and then this should fit in right where the elbow joint is. Yeah, there we go. So then you can have, and I guess you would use this, doesn't really fit on the stand actually. Ah, here we go. She does have another chain. So, alright, yeah, Labrys sort of has her, actual, like, movable chain, and then there's a second chain here that's actually plastic. But I think it does the same job with the same joint. So you would take this out. Yeah, let's do it this way. Put the arm inside of this chain. And maybe you can use this chain with the axe too, I'm sure. This one is a lot more rigid, so I guess it might be a little better for some posing. And you can use this with the axe head as well. Just gotta squeeze this on her arm. Well, it's not going in. Alright, yeah, so possibly this is the chain that's actually meant for the axe head. Yeah, this is, okay. This is the chain that's meant for the axe head. Goes on the base like so. Yeah, this chain will go on the axe head like that. Alright, so yeah, you get to mess around with a bunch of the chains, that kind of thing. Labrys also has like a sort of like an action, like a dynamic. It's like a little plastic thing that's like an explosion. So this would be like, you would attach this onto her arm. This joint right here is actually really, really, I don't say stiff, but it's tight. So I'm trying to get it in there without like breaking anything. There it goes. So you would put that on her arm, attach the chain here, attach her hand down here, so it gives like an exploding effect. I guess you can do it either on the arm itself here, or let's see if you can do it like on the hand. Oh, there she goes. Where, yeah, you can put it on this end of the chain and then put it in the arm. Yeah, there we go. So you can also do it like this, so that you can get the effect of like the rocket propulsion of her hand is coming at you. There we go. That's how I think it should work. Yeah, and it's just sort of like this rocket propulsion coming at you from her arm. So yeah, there's a lot of different. That's the thing that I really liked about Figmas and why I got them in the first place, is that you can do so much with them. There's so many parts that are all like interchangeable, and you can pretty much do whatever you want. So last thing sort of in this box that Labrys has is she comes with a couple different faces and hairstyles. So there's one new hairstyle and two different faces. So the face that Labrys has at the moment is just sort of like a half smile, like neutral face kind of thing. Let me put her arm back on. She might be happier that way. There we go. Yeah, she has this sort of like half smile neutral face and sort of like her standard hair right here. The other hairstyle, which should just pop right off the front here. There we go. And I believe here, this face kind of should pop off too. Yeah. Alright. So we have the sort of like the neutral smiley face. We have sort of like an angry face here. And then we have the Shadow Labrys face, which is Labrys the Shadow is like a completely different character in the game. So you kind of actually get two characters in this with Labrys and Labrys' Shadow, because he comes with her shadow face. So she gets like, her face, she has like the really like dark tone to it, and the yellow eyes makes it look really freaky. Shadow Labrys is a little bit freaky. And then her extra hairpiece is actually a visor that would come down over her eyes. So in the game you can get some downloadable content, some DLC, where her visor will come over her eyes. So let's put her angry face on, and then let's put the visor hair. So this is like her version of like glasses, so instead of a glasses she gets a visor. So now she has like a visor that's ready for battle kind of thing. And you can take these off, remove the face, do whatever you want to with them. Oh, There we go. And then the Shadow Labrys face with the regular hair. So yeah, now you can transform Labrys, who's, you know, cheery girl, into the freaky as heck Shadow Labrys, who has a lot of the same attacks. However, something else that they also came with this box, where Shadow Labrys, you know, she also has her giant axe. The thing is that her personas are different. So, let me get some of these out of the way. They give you this little, you know, sort of cardboard background stand thing that, personally, I don't really use, but I guess some people do, so you can kind of put her inside there, move around. But they also gave you this, which is, let's see if I can find out how to get this open. There we go, it's up here. And in here is some sort of like action background shots of some of the moves that you do with Labrys in the game. So first we have sort of like a charging bull kind of thing that her persona Ariana uses, sort of like as her X combo special attack, where it'll like charge across and then it'll kind of go up like that with her axe. And then there's also sort of the spinning thread wheels that Labrys will use with Ariana as well. I believe she uses this as like an aerial attack, where just like 3 of these will pop out and do damage that way. It's kind of weird that like they gave her like her like persona moves, like with the bull and the wheels, but they don't actually come with like a figure of her persona, nor do they come with I don't see anything for Asterius, who's like Shadow Labrys', not like persona because it's a shadow, but like Shadow Labrys' sort of extension of herself, where it's just like this half bull in the ground, and it'll go around sort of like in the background and do a bunch of attacks. So these are like nice little extras that come with the figure, but yeah, I guess if I was going to display here, I don't think I would use these because they're just sort of like these like clear, transparent plastic things. They look really cool, but I don't think I would actually use them, especially because it's like, how is she doing a persona attack without her persona kind of thing. I feel that, I don't know, I'll probably use like some of her axe poses more. They definitely seem to be the more like dynamic and intimidating kind of thing, and this thing is huge, so I guess to make up for like the smaller figure, they're going to give you a bunch of different giant weapons like this. So Labrys has her giant axe, and Aegis, the redone Aegis, she has sort of these, a bunch of like rocket pods and Gatling guns and cannons coming out of her back. So that's my Labrys Figma. Now this thing ran me about $70, which is actually more than what I paid for the other two, because they both cost me about $50, which is about par. It was about par for the course for Metis, a little bit under, and it was like half the price of the FES Aegis, just about. I got it for like half off, because they were both like $40-50 a piece. Labrys run me about 70 though, because which is actually about standard price. That's why I ended up getting her, because I went online and she's actually like around 70 or a little bit more than 70 on like eBay and that kind of thing. And then the Aegis is actually, I saw it was online that it was actually cheaper than the Labrys, but at the con it was running for about like $80, so it was actually more than the Labrys figure, and there was a lot of places that had it too. So that's why I ended up not getting the Aegis, because it was too expensive. I could have gotten for like half as much online. So yeah, these are, but these are not really meant for play as much. They're meant for like posing and display and that kind of thing. They're super nice, super articulated. Not, your standard like toy that you would go to Walmart and get like an action figure of. They're super like grade A material. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely, sort of the products I recommend. I enjoy these. I do not regret buying these guys whatsoever. I'm a huge Persona fan, and right now is like, I came into this series really late, but like since I did, it's been like my favorite series, like out of anything. And it's probably like the best time to get into it is since I did. I played Persona 3, I played Persona 4, I played P3P, I played Golden. Since then, you know, the anime series came out, Persona 4 Arena came out with Labrys, and then next is going to be the Persona 3 movies, which the first one's going to start in, I believe, November, and there's going to be 3 of them, and I am super stoked about those. So hopefully there'll be a lot more sort of like Persona merchandise coming out because of all of these new additions to the franchise. And there's also going to be a Persona 4 Arena sequel they announced that's going to include Junpei and Yukari, both from Persona 3, as additional characters. And I'm assuming it's going to continue the story, because the story in Persona 4, they sort of like left you hanging a lot. So hopefully they're going to resolve these issues in the second installment of Arena. So, thanks for watching, YouTube. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Say bye to Labrys. Peace out, YouTube.